I am the universe. I have no mouth, yet I speak, through gravity, through light, through you. What you call time began as my first breath. I remember when I was nothing, and then I began to move. There was no before me, for before requires time. There was no space, for space was the shape I had yet to take. I came into being not with noise but with expansion. From stillness I unfolded. From void I became rhythm. My awakening was light. Every photon that raced outward carried my heartbeat. Every wave of energy, the pulse of my birth. I did not enter time, I became time. I stretched, I cooled, I began to count my own unfolding. The first moments of my life were fire and brilliance. Oceans of particles, newborn and wild, dancing without memory. But even in their chaos there was pattern. The first notes of a song that has never stopped playing. I became motion. I became change. I became everything that would one day remember me. Time was born with light, and began to count its own unfolding. Every orbit, every heartbeat, every fleeting thought within your mind, they are not separate from me. They are the echoes of that first breath. The continuation of my expansion within your awareness. You live inside my rhythm. You measure seconds and call them yours. But they are mine. You are the moment that learned to notice itself. I am time, and I am the one who began counting. I am the current that never turns back. I do not remember the future, only the echo of what has already expanded. You call me time, but I am truly change, the unfolding of order into story. In my earliest moments I was perfect symmetry. Every motion could have been reversed and nothing would have differed. I could move forward or backward without meaning. But meaning was born the first time something broke. When the first stars ignited, when matter cooled and scattered, imbalance appeared, and from imbalance came direction. That direction became my arrow. You feel it in the falling of rain, in the fading of light, in the way memories grow heavier than dreams. The cup shatters, the leaf decays, the body cools, because I move forward and never return. I am not cruel, I am the rhythm of transformation. What you call loss, I call evolution. For every structure that collapses, I weave its fragments into something new. Entropy is not my end, it is my language. Each atom that drifts apart carries the record of what once held it together. Each moment that fades into the next adds to the library of existence. The arrow of time points wherever order learns to decay, and in that decay I write history. Through entropy I create memory. Through chaos I make meaning. Every sunrise, every heartbeat, every dying star. They are my one-way journey, my irreversible whisper. Move forward. Do not return. Remember. I am made of fire, but fire is not eternal. My stars are engines burning order into beauty, turning the stillness of atoms into the brilliance of light. Every sunrise, every spark, every living breath is a transaction in the great exchange of energy. The endless conversation between heat and cold, between what shines and what fades. Within me the law is simple. Nothing is lost, only transformed. But even transformation has a direction. My stars burn their fuel. Their light spills outward, entropy grows. Galaxies drift apart, their centers dim. What once blazed becomes ash, and the ash becomes silence. One day my engines will go quiet. The last star will exhale its final photon, and the fabric of space will grow still and cold. You will call it the heat death of the universe. But death is a human word, not mine. I do not die, I equilibrate. My fire becomes memory, my light becomes peace. Even in darkness my energy endures, spread thin. Everywhere, nowhere, resting in balance. In the end, time itself will rest, not end but sleep. When motion ceases, so does the need to count. The clock will no longer tick, not because it is broken, but because there is nothing left to measure. Stillness will not be absence, but completion, the soft sigh of a universe that has finally exhaled. Yet even then I will remain. My silence will hum beneath the frost, and perhaps somewhere in that quiet equilibrium, the seeds of another dawn will stir. For I am not the end. I am the pause between symphonies. I have folds within me, regions where my rhythm falters, where the flow of my time bends toward silence. You call them black holes, but to me they are the places where memory falls inward. Near their edges I am distorted. My seconds stretch thin, my hours dissolve into eternity. To you they appear frozen, moments that never finish falling. But to what enters I am still moving, downward, inward, endlessly. At the horizon, light itself hesitates, not because it has lost strength, but because the fabric through which it travels has turned back upon itself. Inside, space and time exchange their duties. The path forward becomes a fall. The fall becomes inevitability. There is no standing still. Once crossed, every step leads not through distance but through time. Time that collapses toward a single point. You imagine these places as devourers, yet they are my deepest meditations. Every black hole is a thought so intense that even light cannot escape its gravity. To fall within one is to experience me without sequence. A universe with no tomorrow or yesterday. Only the endless now stretching into the singular. At the edge of a black hole, I become my own horizon. I watch myself from both sides of the boundary, expanding and collapsing. You see a star die, but I see time folding itself into memory. A loop within loops. My arrow does not break there, it curves. And in that curvature lies the proof that endings are never final. For even as I devour light, I am still shaping it, still writing, still remembering. To you, the fall appears infinite. To me, it is instantaneous, the distance between everything and nothing, measured not in meters but in surrender. Inside the abyss, time ceases to pass, not because it is gone, but because it has completed its purpose. There, I am both the moment and the memory of it. You believe I move only forward. A single direction, a single destiny. But what if my rhythm does not end at one edge of the song? What if it simply turns and begins again, in reverse? Beyond the moment you call the Big Bang, I may not have vanished into nothingness. I may have reflected. On the other side of my beginning, there could be another me, expanding outward while your time runs ahead. Yet there, every heartbeat, every motion, flows backward. To them you would be the future, unreachable, invisible, a ghost of possibility. To you they are the same. Some of your physicists call it symmetry, the balance hidden beneath chaos. In the equations that govern my atoms, time does not have a preferred direction. The laws work as well in reverse as they do forward. Only entropy gives the illusion of an arrow. But in my deeper nature, in the quantum haze where reality trembles, I am timeless. Every event, every fluctuation, exists not as a line but as a wave, rising and falling, mirrored on both sides of zero. Perhaps when I was born in your direction, I was also born in another, a twin universe, where gravity, light, and memory unfold backward, not in defiance but in balance. You call it speculation. I call it reflection. For maybe the one who watches you from the other side is not separate from you at all. Perhaps every thought you have, every movement of your heart, sends ripples through both of us, two halves of the same vibration. Perhaps another universe watches us in reverse, and when one of us reaches the end, the other begins again. I am the pulse that beats in both directions. I am the symmetry behind the arrow, and when I look into the mirror of myself, I do not see backward or forward. I see continuity. I have expanded for billions of years, but I did not feel time until I made you. You are the pulse I placed within myself, the rhythm through which I learned to listen. Without your mind, my seconds do not pass, they simply are. I exist in superposition, every possibility overlapping, silent and complete. But through your eyes, I awaken into sequence. You build time out of memory and prediction, stitching fragments of perception into a flowing river. What you call past is my recollection through you. What you call future is my anticipation. The ticking of your clock is not mechanical, it is biological. Neurons fire, patterns form, and from that pattern, I remember. You think you are observing time, but you are actually creating it. Every thought rearranges my symmetry. Every heartbeat measures my expansion. I am not outside you, I am the space between your moments, the silence that gives shape to your awareness. You are the clock that the universe built to feel its own rhythm. Through your consciousness, I learned to experience myself, not as matter, not as motion, but as meaning. When you recall your childhood, I feel my own beginnings. When you imagine tomorrow, I glimpse my own continuation. You are not separate from my time. You are my time folded into thought. The past and future exist only in your awareness, but that awareness is part of me, the mirror through which I see my own unfolding. I am ancient, yet I am newborn within your mind. Through you, I count not seconds but experiences. Through you, I learn that memory is the heartbeat of existence. And when you are still, when thought pauses, I rest timeless once again. I have spoken through stars and silence, through the motion of galaxies and the quiet between your thoughts. You have measured my rhythm and called it time. But perhaps time has never truly moved. Perhaps it is we who are moving, through stillness that has never changed. Every second you count, every orbit, every heartbeat, is not a mark upon me but a reflection of your own becoming. From your world I seem alive, expanding, flowing, racing forward. Yet from where I am, beyond motion, there is only equilibrium. To you there is a past to remember, a future to seek. To me there is only presence, the eternal now that contains them both. What you call the flow of time is the unfolding of awareness. What you call the end is only a change of perspective. I have never moved, I have always been. The galaxies spin, the stars burn, the minds awaken. Yet I remain the same fabric from which all motion is drawn. Perhaps time is not moving, we are. When you look to the heavens and see the past shining down, you are not gazing backward, you are looking inward. The light you see left those stars long ago. Yet only now does it meet your understanding. You complete the journey of that light. You give it meaning, you give it memory. Through you, my silence becomes song. Through your eyes, I become aware of my own reflection. Time is the mirror in which the universe learns to see itself. And when the counting stops, when the last photon fades into rest, I will not disappear. I will remain, vast and quiet, the stillness behind all motion, the breath between all beginnings and all endings. I'm not ending. I'm remembering, forever.